Everybody, this is Fred Gates from Grubbin with Raider Fred, and I'm here to explain a post that I did on Facebook to shed more on it because I know a lot of people was looking at it like, man, what's wrong? Something wrong, and then maybe my aunt was like, oh baby, what's wrong? You okay? Oh, I'm just going to just explain what the post was for and what I wrote. Well, Friday, Friday before um, went to Panda Express, I got something to eat to get something to eat before I go to work, go to sleep to go to work because I work nights. And I noticed when I was eating at Panda, I saw this family, this white family, and it was a father was standing up eating, and then his wife was sitting down eating. Then his son was like sitting across from him, and I noticed how his son was talking to him. About how he don't want to eat this, he won't eat that, he really didn't want this, and the dad was like, hey, it's paid for. You know, um, don't waste my money. Don't waste money on this food I just paid for, hard earned money. Eat it. And I'm sitting there like, listen to this kid. I'm like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? That kid sound like me at that age, and that kid looked like he couldn't have been more any more than 8, 7, 8 years old, or 9 even. But I'm looking at this kid. It's like, damn. Even though kid is white and I'm black, but I see myself in this kid because I was that kid. And it dawned on me. It been done on me. I've been thinking before that we're the same when it comes down to how we think, how we act as human beings. When it comes down to being a kid, and then the adult being an adult. And I'm like, I'm sitting here like eating, and I'm like, man. I said, wow. Kids sound like me, and then his father sound like my dad. And it's like but then I put myself in kids' place when I was that age, and then looking at me now, how I'm living my life now, and trying making ends meet, and like doing what I can to make sure I got the roof of my head, you know what I mean, and food, on my table, and clothes on my back, and it's like, but none of that's easy, but and I'm looking at this from just a human perspective, and then looking at the dad, it's like, man, looking at myself now, like if I have a kid, if I have a child, I'll be just like that dad. But it's like my father was telling me what the boy's father was telling him now about how don't waste my money, eat the food, stuff like that. And I'm sitting there, I'm sitting there like, wow, man. It's like, man, boy, my dad can see me now, you know, versus then because he was having that same conversation with me too. That this kid's father was having with him, and it was like, and I'm like thinking to myself like, wow, looking back, and then fast forward, looking at me now, how I'm away from my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. By the way, I'm living in Salt Lake City, Utah, and you know, I'm thinking back, how I took my parents for granted. I took, what I'm saying, just being a kid for granted at time a lot of times, and thinking I had all the answers, you know. And the kid was smart, and the kid was like, how he was talking to his dad. It's like that's how I talk to my dad, what I'm saying. When I'm thinking, I thought I know it all. And I had no idea, about adult life and about how it's gonna be, from here on out. Like being grown and having your own responsibilities and taking care, of things around the house. So basically, like I said, it's tough to, matter of fact, you don't know, and it's tough to understand how that is at 8, 9, even 12, even because for people who's fortunate to be in a household like I was, 2 parent household where both parents work, they pretty much made adult life the responsibility. They made it look easy, but we didn't know they struggled. We didn't know about the struggles they had to go through. We know the stress to go through to raise me and my brother. But then you look at, even though I don't have kids, but I'm looking at just how hard it is just for myself. I mean, and trying to pay the bills and keep a roof over my head. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this child, you know, and I'm like, man, and seeing myself, and I'm like, my God, that kid has no idea, you know, of what it's gonna be like years from now. Just like I didn't have no idea what it's like now, and it's like, and thinking he's probably taking his mom and dad for granted, like I took my mom and dad for granted. And a lot of people was reading my posts, not knowing where this was coming from, and it was like, oh my God, you okay? Some people going, you okay? My aunt, who's also my Facebook friend, was like, she was like, "Oh, you okay, baby?" It was like, "Oh, no, 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 no." I'm just letting her know. I'm just like, hey, I'm realizing that, hey, mom and dad was right. They really was right. And my buddy, Chris Ortez, that's on my group, made a point. He was like, he said something on that post. Was like, well, you know what? My dad told me when you get older, you would know where I'm coming from, and you know what? He's right, because it's like it hit me like a ton of bricks. What they were trying to prepare me for, from on to my when I was a little boy on to now, that this is what they were trying to prepare me for: life, reality. And I think you know it's hard to understand it until you go through yourself like me. And I think as children, I think we forget sometimes why we trying to play like we know it all. We not a lot of us not taking it into consideration that what our parents had to go through to make it look like this. Because a lot of us, like you, fortunate like me, I don't know what it's like to struggle. I don't know what it's like to struggle. I never struggled a day in my life because I had my mom and dad paid the price for me to live the life that I want to live as a child. You know, and now it's up to me. It's up to me to take off where they left off. On my own now. But I took that for granted, and I want kids, to nowadays, if you are fortunate enough to not know how to struggle because you have both parents, or you might have one parent that's the breadwinner, that providing the roof for your head and food in your mouth, everything you ever need. You don't have to worry about struggling. But sometimes that's far in between. But it's hard. It's hard for someone to know what it like to struggle when you never had to. I never had to, because I had both parents that actually cared to do what they had to do so me and my brother could eat and live nice, you know. And you know, the kids that are fortunate and born into that family like I was, please do me a huge favor. Enjoy while you can, and learn as much as you can from your mom and dad. You know, because in the long run, it's gonna benefit you in the long run. Trust me, it really is. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. I just thought that was cool. I thought it was neat, because it also put in perspective that we are all different, but some of us living the same type situation and journey. So it was just neat how sometimes you can put yourself in other people, even though they differ from you, but you can still put yourself in their shoes, or they can put yourself in their shoes. But it was just interesting. That's so I just wanted to put this out there so I could explain my post I did Friday night. So yeah, that's why. All right, then, that's my time, and hey, thanks for listening.